Welcome back, guys. Pornstar channel. Tom here, sitting under Blue, who's on the lift at my petite little shop. And this is the aftermath of what I thought was a blown up diff at Midvale the other day. If you did watch the event recap video, the vlog BTSD episode, you'll notice that I said towards the end I wasn't really sure what broke yet, and I haven't seen it happen a whole lot of times, but axles can fail without actually flipping and flopping all over the place and still being in one piece. Well, I may have gotten lucky because it seems that's what I'm up against. Well, as soon as the car was on the lift, it became readily apparent what was spinning and what wasn't. So I've got some lights set up here so that you can actually appreciate just how much flake I put on that diff for no reason. But I'm glad I don't have to pull it out of the car, because I think I can get another couple events out of it. Like I said, I have spare axles, I have a spare trans, I have a spare diff. But I really don't want to swap any parts out until they're really done, to get the most use out of them, basically. So let me show you something real quick. Here's my shiny diff of shininess. So right here, tucked away up in there, you can see the axle. And you can see the boot. And the boot looks a little peculiar. Now watch what happens when I spin the axle. So that's what's up. Looks like the CV joint in there let go. So it'll be a lot of fun to pull that cup out of the diff without having a shaft to yank on. May have to get a little creative there, but it'll be alright. Yeah, so based on all the bits and bobs that the axle just puked out at me, it's definitely the CV joint that had enough. And if you look at all these rub marks, I'm wondering if bottoming out the axle against the cradle and the control arm may have something to do with that. So much for my car not being low, I guess. Whoops. Alright, little axle stubby boy is out. Time for a quick PSA. If you've got the cradle risers and diff risers in your 8.6, which I do, then it doesn't take a whole lot of low to cause interference. As you can see, my axle has eaten its way into my upper control arm as well as the subframe. And that is true on both sides. Seems like, since we're mostly going left, the other side actually has more wear on it. But it's something to be mindful of, because in the instructions that come with the PBM kit, they're saying that you're supposed to notch this if you're quote-unquote extremely low. So I of course didn't think that that would pertain to me. But extremely low means different things to different people. So bear that in mind. Kind of contemplating taking an angle grinder to this. But man, I'm really not so sold on the idea of notching the control arm there. I don't know, man. That just seems like a bad idea. Kind of leaning more towards just letting it self-clearance and not messing with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little too cautious, but just cutting into a control arm? Not loving the idea. Let's put it that way. Regarding my clearance conundrum with the axle rubbing both the subframe as well as the control arm, I'm really conflicted. I know that the parts need more clearance to properly function, but at the same time, I also don't want to hog any more material out of those components than needed. So I decided to sleep on it and mull it over. And I think I've come up with a pretty creative solution. So check this out. So since the axle is already working on self-clearancing, I decided to wrap it in grip tape, which is essentially like 80 grit sandpaper. And yeah, the logic here is it occasionally touches, and for when it does, it now has some teeth to self-clearance itself easier. I don't know, is this genius or insanity? I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll give it a try. I mean, I have the grip tape laying around anyway, so, you know, I'm not out anything trying it. And I, of course, wrapped it against the orientation, the rotation, I should say, of the axle. And so, you know, you see what flapper discs on your angle grinder do to steel. So this should be a similar experience, just at a way lower speed. Yeah, I think this is worth a try, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, worst case, it rubs again. Best case, eventually it'll stop rubbing. Axle is back in, the grip tape has been deployed, so all that's left is I just need to hang the muffler, bolt that back to the exhaust system.
The flames grew higher, destroying the empire. Now it's laying away, nothing's left at all.
Wrapping your self-clearancing parts in grip tape. Is it dumb? Maybe. Is it creative? Definitely. Will it work? TBD. Oh, look at that. Rear suspension is half loose. Sick! Alright. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend some more time down here. Nothing exciting, but just like a bolt check. It's a general rule, if I touch 3 fasteners under my car and 2 are loose, then I'm going to do a bolt check. So, we'll get to that. So, pending no unforeseen issues and a quick driveway test, looks like we're ready for pit race. Laters, guys. Everything's back together, bolt check is done. All that's left is the test drive. And I understand that this is not the most exciting episode on my channel, but building a drift car, maintaining a drift car, and owning drift cars isn't just angle kits, superchargers, and engine swaps. There's a whole bunch of other things that are going on. And so this is a prime example of what the comment section is for, you know? Should I even bother putting stuff like this on the channel? I mean, it was just an axle swap, but I tried to make it somewhat entertaining. So, you know, is this kind of stuff something you care to see in the future? Should I just save episodes like this for major stepping stones in the build of a car? I mean, just let me know. And while we have the car on here, I talk a lot about suspension alignments, and I kind of nerd out over all those things quite a bit, as you know. And this was a prime example right here, actually, because I'm sitting next to Blue still. And I just wanted to point out, this is a tire, an Ironman I Move 2 that has a whole event on it. And if you look at it, I mean, this wear pattern is just literally as perfect as it gets. I mean, this is just a thing of beauty to me. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me happy to see when I'm wrenching on the car and I can see that the distance to the wear bars is even across the tire. And yeah, so this is the kind of stuff I like to see, to show that all the effort you put in is actually paying off, because you know you're maximizing your grip and you're maximizing the use that you get out of your tires. So yeah, there's probably going to be more on tires in general. I have a couple of thoughts on some additional nerd alert episodes that could be handy to you guys. So again, comment section's your friend. Let me know what kind of content you'd actually like to see, and I'll try my best to deliver. So see ya, guys.